I just want to say something smart real quick. So next to my head is well, it's actually Hosea, which we don't know if it's Hosea. We say Hosea in English. Up there it says Hosea, but it doesn't have to be because it's Hosea with the E at the end, just like Yuda and all these other words that have at the end, like that we do in English. So I want to talk about my strategy for translating real quick, because what I have to do is like I think I need to write a computer program that has a dictionary in it with translations, and I need to be able to search through it at least. I initially was thinking a find replace program would work out, but now I'm thinking I should probably just have like a dictionary that I can search through for words that I've already found in or possible words that I've found in the Egyptian language, like because I keep not seeing things that I need to see. So what I'm doing now is like I'm like looking for accepted words in the Koine Greek and like that like are in the New Testament specifically, like this is that authoritative, that translation, or like this is like how accepted it is based on the context it's used multiple times. Like it's used multiple times. I trust it. If I trust it, I think I'm going to do a blue underline, and then if I don't trust it, I'm going to do a red underline, and I'm going to but I still have to find where sentences start and end. Supposedly, this is like the oldest manuscript of Genesis, and it's not Hebrew. That looks like Greek to me. Look at that lambda. I'm seeing alpha, tau. I'm seeing like omicron. I'm seeing like z. I'm seeing upsilons. So I think that like something's gotten confused there, but like it says meta right below me, like very clearly, and like you can read that in English at the corner of me, like at the bottom of the page. In this manuscript of John, you can see that dot right next to my head, and that's like the only thing that's any variation of a period. And like he will never use a period when he translates. That thing does not end a verse. So my big problem right now is trying to figure out where the verses end and where the verses start. And like it's difficult because like he doesn't even end it's not verses, it's where the sentences end, because it's not about the verse, like, but you have to understand the full context, and so like I have to read the whole thing and understand like the words that they're using, and I have to figure out like if this word's used 75 times and it's like clearly used in that sense, then it goes in the dictionary so that I can translate this thing. And that's why I keep thinking I have to write them out now. I feel like I should just do all of Hosea. If Izeus' name is Josiah, what is Josiah? There's no J. There's O-Zaya, because that's an omega. And usually if you're saying ho, it feels like that's always with an omicron, but clearly, like when we pronounce it in English, we pronounce it Hosea, which I feel like we can't tell if things have a ho or not. But we should always try ho on like ho and hey. So if it is not something that is common in the New Testament, I'm redlining it, and if it is common, I'm blue lining it. And then I'm trying to understand like the words around it and trying to understand like how the sentence would work if I was doing Arabic type stuff. Yeah, and so like I think that people can do it. I keep thinking there's going to be an Arabic translation of the Septuagint that shows up. Apparently there are like no translations. There are no Septuagints that survive. There's like one, and it doesn't include everything. So yeah, this is Codex Alexandrinus is a 5th century one. Even in the 13th century, you're finding documents that are like the Hebrew Bible, like the Septuagint without Psalms, because like they did not let you hear the writings of David. There's no way you're allowed to read what David wrote. And then you find Psalms by itself, and like you find a lot of things by themselves. And like it seems like the Septuagint wasn't an absolute, and like it's why it's so important to get across to you. Like when Origen's writing to all the churches, like he's the one that has all the texts. And he's the one that's like saying this is what our stance is on this entire religion. from like we're the Gentiles perspective, even though Origen apparently is Jewish or something, but like he's clearly a Greek. And so like he definitely like calls God Zeus. He definitely like understands like everything that we don't understand about the Greek belief system because we can't understand the old text. Like we can't read Socrates. Like I've said it before, like you can't read the Republic of Plato because it's not translated well enough. But hopefully someone that has an Arabic document that like can like hear my Septuagint translations and go, oh, I had some weird translations from my Septuagint. Like I want to like compare, and then we can get together and like figure out what the Bible says, because like I'm having trouble, but it doesn't mean that like I don't think a lot of these words will repeat themselves, and it doesn't mean that I don't think it. I'm just saying it's not a huge vocabulary, like compared to like so many words compared to all the words I know, it's not a huge vocabulary because I already knew it. Because Ansel Dua, I swear to God, when I hear Ansel Gaia, I am so convinced that has to do with anal. Like, isn't it weird? Ansel Gaia's licentiousness, like anal gay, like anal gay sex, like because gay sex is called Gaia. I don't know. It feels like they were trying to change gay that much at one point. It didn't work. Ansel Dua is a female character in like I think like a Mesoamerican story about like like the story I heard, like she's like rubbing her vagina on like a tree or something like that. Like I was a writing tutor while I was in grad school for like University of Texas San Antonio, where I went to grad school for computers, but I was a writing teacher, and like this girl came in like reading like sex stories with me. I'm like, oh man, I'm tutoring the girl is like the hottest person ever, reading sex stories with me. But like Ansel Dua like starts like rubbing her vajayjay on a tree, which makes me wonder if like licentiousness like or the name Ansel Dua connects to Ansel Gaia. All right, I'm done. I feel like if I read Origin a tiny bit, I have to make a video immediately. So like I don't want to read Origin